Hey guys, gals, it's Shooter. Hey, we're going to go over weekend box scores, swing trade notes edition. Please review our disclosures at the end of this presentation. Let's jump right into it. Okay, going to the swing trades notes article, we're still in this risk off. Now, the two prior drawdowns that we've had, we never had continuation. And, right now we're down towards support a little bit, so we might get a little bounce first, but, I think we continue to the downside. So I'm erring on caution here. Now, I raised the issue of liquidity issues. I don't necessarily mean that the U.S. has a liquidity crisis. I'm thinking that we have a liquidity crisis that comes out of a number of factors. First, China is in trouble here and realize they have a huge level of U.S. denominated debt. So obviously with us dickering over Taiwan, one of the best resources that China has is U.S. treasuries. And of course, defaulting on U.S. dollar denominated debt is all of a sudden a liquidity squeeze because nobody wants to refinance these Chinese loans and derivatives because they're not repaying them anyways. So, that's going to be a big issue if that comes to head. And, honestly, I think it either rears itself in the next 6 months or it doesn't. So that's, Now, the Bank of Japan also started to unwind the yen carry trade. So that is why the dollar, let me jump right to the dollar, is pushing a little. Account says maybe 104. But however, if that pressure continues from Japan and we continue to see a direct correlation to U.S. indices like we have in the past, at this point, we're going to continue to stay in a depressed period of equities until that issue resolves itself. And that may be 6 months to 3 years from the timelines that I've reviewed. So just keeping that in mind. So right now, the dollar could continue to push. And with that, we see continued U.S. equities weakness. Now, TLT, first signs of a bottom. However, I do not have my divergent low on the weekly. We have, a confirmed low over here at 91.85, but we have no divergence. Now, we don't have a confirmed low here, but we have divergence. So we could very well pop here for a little bit and head back in the other direction. So we put some runners on looking at that to see, so we're watching it really close and see what happens there. Now, looking at this week's earnings, a lot of stuff. This is retail week. We've got Nordstrom's, Motorsport Games. Tuesday we got Toll Brothers and Lowe's. Then, of course, some more retailers, Dick's, BJ's, etc., and Macy's. Then on Wednesday, we have Nvidia. Now, the popular vote is that this beats, but what happens if it misses? Well, we want to be conscious of that because basically all artificial intelligence or semis are going to come off if Nvidia comes off. It's going to be a sector-wide thing. So we want to keep that in mind. I did post a short look on Nvidia in the primary waves because the count has extended, to the downside. Then on Thursday, we got Marvel, which really interests me on the long side. I've not decided if I want to take it in this ruckus or not because, it's so hard to walk away with any type of premium. Now, as far as any conviction long trades, I've got runners on. I posted them in the room. At this point, I have no conviction to the long side because of market conditions. I think there's too much of a chance that we pull down, 5 to 10%. Also, I trimmed down crypto in this week's article. I don't want to encourage adding. I am still scaling Hive, Bitfarms, and GBTC. I do not plan on stopping no matter how low it goes. That's I looked at that. One of the reasons I covered some positions at 21 on GBTC was because I was afraid that we would do this and, crypto would back off a little bit, which we'll get to in a minute. Now, some short conviction, here we have Micron, which, actually, I'm realizing I didn't update that here. And then we have Nvidia, which, have been added to my conviction shorts. Tesla, it's still in play, but it's probably close to being done. CBRE is still in play, just beginning, actually. Airbnb, we trimmed a little bit down to half. And XHB, they're all working. The short side, that whole concept there was a winner as far as I'm concerned. So now let's look at the S&P. We've got a substantially lower count here on the table. We're looking at maybe 410. So I'd be very conservative. We get a bounce, it'll probably be back to about the 50-day. We'll have to look at those volumes coming in, but right now, we're looking for some significant downside from where we are. Really a little bit more than about 5%. Looking at the NASDAQ, right now it says our three's in, so we should pop to about 360, so about $2 higher than where we are, and then we should flush again. Now that's a wave 5. I don't necessarily like chasing those. However, with the weakness I see in the FANGs, Nvidia, et cetera, I might throw something in the room on that short once that position or that spot materializes at 360. Then let's take a look at crypto. Now it has broken our staircase. So, right now we have a confirmed low on the daily. So what do we look for? One more divergent low. That's on the table. Jumping over to Ethereum, maybe 1479 still. So about $200 lower from where we are, at least when I ran this chart. So we're looking for some downside in crypto. And that's pretty much what I have for swing trade notes this weekend, folks. Great trading. Until next time.